All right, thanks everybody for joining us today. As you know, we've announced that we signed infielder outfielder Brian Anderson to a one-year contract. Brian's nice enough to join us here from his home in Miami, and we'll go right into questions for Brian. If you have a question, please use the raise your hand feature and I'll call on you. If you're not actively asking a question, please remain on mute. Thanks. And we'll start with Steve McGargy.
Congratulations. Just right off the bat, what was it that appealed to you about the Brewers? And I know you've played multiple positions with the Marlins. Have they given you any idea on how they want to use you?
Yeah, I mean, I think they talked a lot about third base being like kind of the primary role that they were looking at with me, with occasionally spending time in the outfield and maybe even some first base. I think first base is one of the positions I have the least amount of work in. I think what really appealed to me, about Milwaukee is just the whole organization. I'm just excited to be with an organization that whose focus is really on winning and competing at every level. And I think that's something that I'm looking forward to, and looking forward to seeing the city of Milwaukee and playing in a great stadium. There's a lot that I think really attracted me to Milwaukee.
And we'll go to Adam McCalvey.
Hey, Brian, welcome to Milwaukee. Just looking at your career and your numbers, it looks like health is a big driver of success. And how much has that hurt you in the last couple of years? And where are you at right now in terms of getting the shoulder right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the last 2 years, I've had some things here or there that have kind of kept me off the field. I think that consistency of play is really big. I think for me, I really fought through the shoulder thing. In 21, I tried to play through it. But as of now, I feel great. I'm healthy. I'm working out. Everything's full go. I don't even notice my shoulder anymore. So that's great news. And I'm excited to have an actual off season where I'm healthy, where I can go in and really try to build that strength and try to put on more muscle. That way I can really drive the ball again the way that I should.
Todd.
Hey, Brian, welcome. Was wondering what the offseason was like for you as far as the free agent market and just kind of, the process that you went through that eventually wound up leading you to Milwaukee. Thanks.
Yeah. This is my first offseason, ever dealing with something like this, spending my entire career with the Marlins since being drafted in 14. So definitely, it's different not having that certainty of knowing where you're going to end up. But, my wife and I feel very, very fortunate to end up in Milwaukee. And we're really excited for this opportunity. And we're just really grateful, like I said, just for this opportunity. And we're just really looking forward to it.
We'll go back to Steve.
Just wanted to clarify on the shoulder thing. Was that an issue for you last year as well, or is it just primarily in 21 where it was bothered? I know what bothered you had said it bothered you in 21. Did that carry over as well last year, or how did you feel playing last year?
Yeah, I went into the season pretty healthy with the shoulder. I was able to rehab it. I actually I tried to make a play on a diving ball, and I re-aggravated that shoulder last season. But I haven't had any issues with it ever since that. I think that was in the middle of the season last year, but I was able to end the season healthy and kind of end it on a high note for me. And like I said, I've had a great off season. I've been able to put on some weight. I've been able to add some strength, and I think I'm seeing that with some bat speed coming back. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to going into a spring training after a healthy off season and seeing what I can do.
We'll go to Dom.
Hey, Brian, welcome. I'll ask the low-hanging fruit question. Have you had any conversations with the broadcaster, Brian Anderson, and the fun with names that we're about to have?
Yeah, of course. He reached out to me probably 45 minutes ago. He had a lot of great things to say. I'm really excited to work with him. I've heard nothing but great things about him. I've met him like 2 or 3 times, just over the course of running into each other in Milwaukee. It's going to be fun. I know that everyone's going to be talking about that. It's funny because in college, whenever we were going through all the pre-draft stuff, there was actually an article written where somebody said, I suffered from boring name syndrome. And that was like one of the things. I'm like, well, now it's actually working out to my advantage. So here we go.
We'll go to Greg Matzik.
Hey, Brian, welcome. A two-part question here. I'm always curious what players from the outside learn or hear about Milwaukee. You've been to Milwaukee, you've played games in Milwaukee, but really knowing the ins and outs of the clubhouse, the manager, other things that would be a significant draw to you. And then my second part is I'm mesmerized by the lights over your shoulder right now. I don't know what's going on, but
So I give you a better view. That's yeah. So I'm a gamer, so that's some of the lights that go with the gaming. Yeah, I mean, I think as you look at, we had a lot of guys when I was with Miami that were traded over from Milwaukee. Some of the trainers that I did some of my rehab with actually were with Milwaukee before. So I've heard nothing but great things about the organization as a whole, as well as, getting to talk to Craig and just having good conversations with him and just being honest with each other on, what we're expecting of each other. And, for me, the only thing I'm never going to go out and guarantee numbers, but I guarantee I'm going to go out and play the game hard, and I'm going to compete. And I play the game with a lot of passion, and that's pretty much it.
We'll go back to Adam.
Brian, obviously there's still time in the offseason for things to change, but right now it looks like there's a lot of at-bats available for a right-handed hitting outfielder. If that became a bigger piece of the pie for you than maybe it looks like right now, would you be okay with that? And just how, you played out there obviously more than a little. How do you like it out there, and how do you think you've adapted as you've gotten more experience out there?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy the outfield. I think that's one area where I can really show off one of my better attributes, where I can throw people out from the outfield pretty well. So I think that's always something there. Like I said, I'm open to any of it. I want to be with a winning team and a winning culture, and be a part of that fun baseball again. That's more what I'm looking forward to than anything. Third base, first base, outfield, it doesn't really matter to me. Definitely. As I look back on it, I do have a lot more time in the outfield, I think, in the big leagues than I expect. But growing up, I was always an infielder. I was always a shortstop, third baseman. So for me, that's always what feels most natural. But at the end of the day, my job is to go out there and compete no matter where I'm at. And I said, I've started to get more comfortable, especially more in right field than in left field. I'm not necessarily sure if there's something to that or not, but like I said, I'm available for whatever they need. I just want to help win games.
Take a couple more, starting with Todd.
Brian, it looks like from the numbers you're more comfortable against right-handed pitching than left-handed pitching. I was wondering your thoughts on that, and just kind of how that's evolved over the course of your career.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I'm not a huge analytical guy. I think early on in my career, I was actually a lot better against lefties. And I think in the more recent years, it switched the other way. I don't really put, I guess I do put thought into it if it's really affecting how I'm playing. But, as far as like if I'm training differently in the off season for it or anything like that, no. I feel like if anything, I feel the same against lefties or righties. I feel like I have the same opportunity to see the ball and drive the ball. And I feel like when I'm playing every day, I think I can hit both.
We'll go back to Dom.
I wanted to ask, you mentioned very little experience at first base. I see you've only played one game in the big leagues at first. What beyond that is your experience at first base?
I believe I played one game there as well in the fall league. We had a player get hurt. And we actually didn't have anything but left-handed first base gloves. So I had to borrow the other team's first base glove. He just left it on first base, and I ran out there and grabbed it. And then I had the one game when we were coming back from COVID, I played first base. I think it was a 7-inning game. So that's pretty much the extent of my experience at first base.
And we'll wrap it up with Andrew Wagner.
Hey, Brian, welcome. You Oklahoma guy, not exactly a big baseball fraternity. They're just curious if you crossed paths with Adrian growing up and maybe playing club ball around that circuit down there. Maybe you and Hauser were up from time to time.
I think I remember hearing about him when I was going through the recruiting process in Oklahoma. Yeah, actually, I think my class going into the University of Arkansas had some guys. I mean, my high school teammate Michael Fulmer was he was committed to go there. I think Nemo was committed to go there. Greg Bird. So a bunch of big names are committed to go there. I think I was the only one that ended up going to college though, because I wasn't drafted as high as those guys. But there were a lot of guys that I played against that were Oklahoma guys growing up. Dylan Bundy, Archie Bradley, those type of guys. So yeah, I mean, I think, in my opinion, I had pretty good baseball, pretty good competition growing up, and that ultimately has helped me growing up, you know.
All right, Brian, thank you very much for your time. Welcome again to the Brewers, and thank you everybody for your time, and have a great day.
Thanks,
you.
Mike. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.